Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4's World Ablaze for No Step Back DLC. Excuse me. This, of course, is Gamer 1745. Now, I want to say something rather important, and I am a member over on the World Ablaze Discord server, and did notice one of the comments posted over there. Something like regarding me and this. Hope he doesn't get stuck or whatever, defeated. I forget exactly what he said. Invading the Soviet Union. And that did happen. And I want to say World Ablaze is a significant change from the base game. And a very, very good change from the base game. This isn't meant to be saying something bad, but it is a significant change. One of the reasons I delayed a while before starting making this series is I had hoped to get in and play some before, but just things have been busy for me, stuff I've been dealing with, some very time-consuming, others not so time-consuming, but still needed to be done. That I really haven't given this mod a thorough playthrough, a thorough look at before bringing it to you. So I gotta apologize, and this is to a point me learning the mod as I play along. I know Uncharted, he's done a lot of work and now has a larger team helping him out. And it's looking really good. I have my quibbles with this, no doubt. You'll be hearing about that. Thank you very much, DJ. Thank you very much. And so, yeah, I really appreciate all of those who actually, play this a lot, giving me tips. And some of the stuff that I have read around. Probably I've done too much civilian factories. But so we're going to stay away from doing any more of that. We're going to complete these and do military and do synthetic refineries. So those are what don't forget we have strategies and stuff. Yes, I need to read more over there and learn that better. So keep that in mind. And this is what I say about Hearts of Iron 3, particularly Hearts of Iron 3's Black Ice. Is any game or serious mod, I don't mean just like some frivolous little modding some element of a game, it should take several playthroughs to really learn it, to really understand what's going on, if it's worth playing in a strategy game. Because a strategy game should be challenging you. It isn't just I just feel like doing this, isn't just a tic-tac-toe or some sort of basic game. So keep that in mind. So I'm sorry I've not given this a serious look at it before playing. But we're going to go ahead and continue here. We are right now using our 1 Panzer Division is what we could deploy to Spain. Now that's fairly historical. Early on when I was testing this, Hoi 4, you could bring in fairly large expeditionary forces, and you get things like Japan or China sending expeditionary forces to Spain and places, and although very unhistorical possibilities, and I'm glad to. Hey Turnlow, how you doing today? And so, having just 1 division, Germany could have supplied more. I don't know if 1 should be the limit for the size of the army. Now, I will say this. This army is, and I'm including what's here now, is historically inaccurately low in size for 1937. It is much smaller than the German army was then. Now, the problem with having a historically properly sized army for Germany and most other nations is that Germany had what was called, and I'm going to specifically talk about Germany, but it exists in other nations as well. Similar things is the Ersatzheers, the sort of false army, the reserve army, the home army that existed and through much of World War II did not fight. It was divisions as well as other units, part of the Wehrkraft system, but they were actual divisions that stayed at home for a large part. There was, as time went on, a bit of a deployment mostly into the Low Countries with some of the forces. Now, as Germany was collapsing, these units were activated and moved to the front, as they should be. And so with this game, you don't have defined or whatever interior forces. You have everything gets moved to the border, to the front, and used. So good to hear. Turn low. So yeah, Germany had a larger army. Spain, I don't know in 1937 how the size difference between Italy's and Germany's army. But getting back to the original point is Spain. Basically, Italy deploys 3 divisions to Spain, and they're fighting divisions. There's other troops as well, but that's why I say basically 3 divisions through much of the conflict. And they're operating wearing Italian uniforms. They're there openly as Italian soldiers intervening in the Spanish Civil War. Germany, on the other hand, it is thought, I just don't know that we have good. Hello, Hate You. How you doing? That name makes me smile. At least that's how I'm pronouncing it. Or is it Hate You All? I don't know. Could be Hate You All. Records, of course, a lot of them have been destroyed or not made public. But about 300 soldiers, and German soldiers, I'm not talking about airmen or people working for the Luftwaffe, I'm talking about Heers. There was also a naval contingent set, but there were about 300, and they were very, very much ordered not to engage in combat. There's military history visualized. He does really well. He's a German, he's Austrian, I believe, but he does very well looking at historical documents and presenting them to us. He does not, he mentions things, but he, I think overly, in my opinion, presumes the documents represent historical fact, as opposed to historical wishes. We wish this was true. We wish you not to be fighting in combat. Don't fight in combat. Oh, hey, this is another reminder, don't fight in combat, meaning they're getting covert reports or somebody's observing they were fighting in combat, because they would say, oh, we're just up at the front observing. So there's about 300 at any one time. There's more that rotate through. Now, and they're not wearing German uniforms. They're wearing some version of a nationalist sort of uniform. So they're in uniform. So if they get, not that the Republicans would treat them well, but if they would be taken as prisoners of war, they are in a military uniform. They're just not a Germany's uniform. Now, so they're specifically barred from entering in combat officially, but we do know from accounts, people from various sources, that the Germans did fight in combat on the ground. Now, they did fight very much in the air, and it was known and approved that they flew combat missions during the war. So could Germany have sent more? Absolutely, and be realist, without it, because we look at Spain. But it wasn't until the Spanish Civil War ends does Germany publicly come out and acknowledge that they did intervene in the war, and they have a parade and a big sort of award ceremony in Berlin over it then. So yeah, but this isn't too bad here, but we have one division. Okay. We're going to probably do that, but I want to look. Care about Reich Commissariat, yeah. Okay, 7 days, 21 days. Yeah, we'll do anti-commentary. So, let's continue moving up here. Now, to the best of my knowledge, well, I'm sure, and always be careful about the way I use words. I'm pretty damn sure that the only tanks Germany sent to Spain were Panzer Is. Now we're going to come over here and were Panzer Is they sent. Panzer Is were found to have a problem in Spain when they came up against the Soviet T-26s. Hello, King Ball Mapping. How you doing today? Is that they only had machine guns and HL Malazan. How you doing? Is that they only had machine guns and a T-26 was a tank and it had armor. Oops. So what the Germans did do was, and there's a lot, just talking about from the official documents going back and forth, but there was a lot of, reports going back to Germany and Germany reacting to them. Let's stop this attack. Let's move into here. I know this would be a defensive battle, but we'll move into here. Is that they developed a bullet that had an armor-piercing core in it. For many reasons, lead make the best bullet, but not entirely. To go out, just give some background. I know I jump around a lot. It needs a jacket to do best. Lead, pure lead, and you can have hard lead, soft lead. You can have different leads. It's just what's mixed with the lead. A pure lead is very soft, but you can have a fairly soft lead, and you want it sort of soft, but you don't want it to deform too much. So you want a jacket, and copper is often found to be a very good jacket because it is softer than iron or steel, but hard enough to keep its shape mostly, because you do want it to deform a bit as it works. Goes down the barrel, goes to the air. And one of the reasons lead is so good is that it's so dense. Gold is more dense than lead, but not by very much. So you want a situation in which your sectional density, maybe I should have come over here and killed that pocket off first. Your sectional density is what you want, and that is an arrow is a fairly lightweight thing, but it's very long, so its sectional density is actually very good as it flies through the air. So lead being, and you make a more pointy bullet, longer, lead is very dense, so it flies through the air very well, and impacts on your target. So lead is great for bullets, but it doesn't penetrate well because it deforms, it mushrooms against the armor. So they came up with a armor-piercing round. I presume it's a steel cord that at 500 yards and less would penetrate the armor of a T-26 tank, because they brought some armor samples back. They test fired it. Okay, we need a lot more artillery, I believe, still with this game. So we're going to come over here and we're going to max out our artillery factory here for this. And so they got to where they could use the Panzer Is against Peenemünde, 7035 military factories. Trying not to just do industrial stuff, but that's my tendency to want to get all of that done. Yeah, we could expand the naval dockyards. That would be good. Marine, Strasstruppen, Abteilung battalions. Okay, cool. So we could have naval invasions, but yeah, let's do dockyards. Get submarines in production at least in fair numbers eventually here, and all of those. Okay, let's do a couple more heavies, and yeah, let's do this so we can throw on another 5. We're going to overdo that, and we need more tungsten. Maybe they use tungsten in the rounds. That would be a decent. I don't know what they did for the armor-piercing rounds. I'm not sure if that is currently fairly well documented or not. So let's just do one factor. Now, after a while, I'll just say the Soviets, they were operating too in the Spanish Civil War. Not to the best of my knowledge, and there's more that I don't know about World War II in Spain than I do, of course. But to the best of my knowledge, there were no expeditionary forces, you know, as in like Soviet division. But there were a lot of Soviet advisors, technical as well as political, and just about anything else you care to name, there were Soviet advisors for, and they were very much upfront in combat as well. Yeah, we could do this. 7 technology. And so they quickly learned that if they keep their T-26s 500 yards or meters, or what, probably meters, I forget, though I speak in freedom units most conveniently. Okay, we have more. No, yeah, we got a bunch more. Well, let's throw on. We're going to overdo the artillery. Okay, so lots of artillery. What else are we? Okay, we got some heavy artillery production, I know. You know, I sort of like to win air wars. Okay, I know we're currently researching. I don't like their icons. I got used to, okay, we're researching these. I know I was sort of said, no, don't make these, it's useless. Well, what I'm doing here is, I know it will be a big hit. Well, let's do that. When it jumps back down, but we're just keeping this factory running, and then we're going to convert it to 109s once we get them. So they learned to keep their tanks 500 meters away from the Panzer Is whenever the Panzer Is showed up on the battlefield. Just keep retreating and shooting at the Panzer Is with your main guns, of course. You know, they were fighting back, but they weren't trying to close the enemy, as it were, and try to keep the distance out. Now, and this is sort of where I was going, and this is what I don't know when it happened, is at some point they start arming the Panzer Is with 20mm guns. Now, they're not the same guns that Germany uses. They're actually Hispano-Suiza, which were made in Spain, 20mm guns. I don't know if this happens after the war, after the Spanish Civil War, or late in the Spanish Civil War. And to be able to mount this, they basically cut the top of the turret off from a Panzer I there, and do an extension, a vertical sort of extension up, and then basically put the top back on. I think. I don't even know if they reuse the same bit of metal or just similar metal, and that gives them enough space in there to mount a 20 millimeter gun. And that 20 millimeter gun, at least against light targets, is fairly effective. And so it is a good way to deal with things. Okay, now, do we have any better? Okay, standard infrastructure research is finished. Right, and that was here, somewhere here, I think. Yes, okay. So, hello, Arno, my friend. I hope you're feeling better today. At least than last week. And of course, thanks for hosting. I think this is more important than this to get this going. Hello, Night Sergeant Huntman. How you doing? Well, good to hear. Good to hear. I was hoping by bringing my armor here that would change the equation better. And we don't have any artillery for this. Okay. Settings for this. I want priority on replacements here. That I should have had that from the beginning. So that way, that because I know we are, well, we had been negative on artillery. Now we're positive. That they'll prioritize sending out things like artillery to here. I was hoping to do something like push into this province. But yeah, the Hindenburg, and I didn't stay there. But oh, the humanity! How many people have heard the audio recordings that were made when the Hindenburg went up in flames? Great. I was going to ask, but great. Good to hear that you'll be up with us for War Thunder tomorrow, and we have enough here to improve our things. So, who here has heard the audio recording? Armor research speed, Daimler, medium length. Daimler, Mercedes. Okay. Who's here? See, this is like, I don't know what the difference here between modern, medium versus modern. Okay. Tried to mod a bit, but not very good. Hello, Soul XP. Not a lot, just getting better myself. Well, not very happy last time I played it. Ended in a rant, in rage quit rant thing. So okay, there. Okay, medium. Okay, we have modern. How are they defining this? Is that what they mean by modern? I'm going to guess that that's what they mean by modern, is like Panzer Panthers. Medium Daimler Benz. Heavy tank and shoal. Yeah, I think this is what we would do. No, not go berserk. It's been long enough. I want a historically based game. That is my big sort of goal with so the British government has announced that 12th of Congress in the next 2 months will gather in London. No. I want a historically plausible game. Now, I don't want a railroaded game in that, oh, the Allies must land at D-Day, in 1944, or things like that. And I don't want to be forced into forming Vichy. If I want to, Germany did not need to create Vichy. Vichy was done for multiple reasons. I think the biggest reason Vichy was allowed to happen, and what we call Vichy, it was just, of course, the Pétain government, was because they wanted to have peace with Britain. And if you conquered all of France, well, Britain is not likely to sign a peace agreement, an armistice, whatever they would be looking for. So allowing the French government to survive and having a great, well, I don't know, probably a very large part of France and most of its colonies to be unconquered. Say most because you do have the Japanese coming down here into French Indochina. But most of its colonies intact, with the idea that once the war is fully over, most of France is going to be back to France. It's going to be back to like World War I borders. Basically, this area here would remain German, and there probably would be a demilitarized buffer zone, in through this region here. But even that would probably be, just be under German monitoring for building of fortifications, deployment of troops, that kind of thing, and maybe continue German monitoring for the size of the French army. That's what they were looking for. But, it's historically plausible that Germany could have just kept going. And so I want that to be, but I don't want to be railroaded into that. I want to be able to have that as a choice, Vichy or not. I guess we'll do this now. We need to, right. We do have medium tanks, but we're going to come over here. 2 lines of that. Let's do another submarine. We're just spamming out submarines. I'm not really playing the whole submarine war properly. But you might as well get some of this fairly early on. Now we're going to go back up here. That's an IG Farben. I think we're going to do IG Farben 4235. Well, let's auxiliary Autobahn. Well, don't. Production efficiency, infrastructure construction speed. We want to do infrastructure construction speed for railways and whatnot coming up. Hello, David Sal. How you doing? And did I say hello, Bubba Booey? Yes, you are LOLing too there. And Drag Hun 05, how you doing as well? Glad to have you here. Everyone new, please follow the channel. And I play a lot of, well, here I play Hearts of Iron mostly on Saturdays, whether Hearts of Iron 3 or Hearts of Iron 4. And on Sundays, we play War Thunder together near. Of course, viewers are invited to come and join us as well. Okay, this isn't working out. So what we're going to do is we're going to retreat out of here. At some point, I don't. Things have not gone as well as I had hoped. Various things. Yeah, a little too soon to start going into those. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Well. Always good to get that early. Do we have a better thing to do? Okay, yeah, we can come over here and get a better bomber. Let's do that now. Not planning that far ahead yet as to knowing whether I'm going to be doing a Sea Lion. Why are they under-equipped? Well, we are... this unit's been taking casualties here. The rest of our forces are equipped. So it's just that one division is under-equipped. We can see extra equipment in most categories here. We're going to continue to expand it out. As to a multiplayer game, I want to do my next big multiplayer game I want to do is a Hoi 3, Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice multiplayer game. That's the game I want to do. Long time ago, David. A long time ago. I did play this. And as I said earlier, and I'll say this again now because we have a larger audience here. Comment in the World Ablaze Discord over there. And I want to thank DJ for announcing over there that I was going live. That I got stymied in my invasion of the Soviet Union last time I played. A mod like this really should take several playthroughs to get to know well, and I just haven't had the time to do this justice yet and do that. So I'm still in the learning phase. Oh, hey, yeah, well, I've been getting some advice, so people keep giving me advice. We also need to increase. Been told military factories and synthetic fuel are what I really need to make sure I have enough of as in industrial capacity. And also from my previous playthrough, have enough artillery would be useful as well. So yes, please point out anything I should, because it's useful for me, but it's also useful for other viewers. Okay, see, now this is what I wanted to do. I was hoping to do it from here, but we're going to do it from here. We're going to try to close this pocket, see if I can get any help doing that. I had hoped by moving my armor in, it would win this battle and then we go on the offensive, but apparently not. So what more government should I do now? Now, do we have... Okay. Yeah, we should probably change this because currently we have shacked. Schacht is good at civilian factories, and we're moving away from that. And we're going to be doing military factories. So let's go over to Walter Radio. By the way, in case you didn't know, you can build only railroad infrastructure, air bases, naval bases, supply hubs, radar if they have it researched in Allied territory. Yeah, I did realize that about the Allied territory. That is a long-standing problem I have with Hoi 4, Sol XP. I don't know whether, and I always have to, and I'm speaking more freely, but I'm still cognizant of the NDA I'm under for the time I was in the beta, but I don't, technically just anything that I ever learned in beta is under NDA. I mean, that's an actual fact. I don't think they're terribly concerned too much. It just technically doesn't end, but I know they don't. You know, they're not really too concerned about too much. And I'm not sure where I've heard some of the stuff that I know. I don't know whether that limitation is an engine limitation or just design limitation. So, you know, Germany can't build radar in Bulgaria if Bulgaria doesn't have radar technology. That just is stupid. So I don't know the answer to whether it's bad design or just the engine that they're saddled with and can't do better. Okay, yeah, but only building synths when you get bonuses from. Okay, so I shouldn't have been building synths just yet. We are going to be doing IG Farben soon. Good to learn. Other than that, build mills. Try to fill up states with 100 info much quicker. Hello, Ari. Well, not much. We're battling in Spain. Design, you think? I don't remember. To me, it's really a bad thing, and it's a Boy 4 thing didn't anything to do with the mods. Getting more artillery. We're getting a fair number of infantry equipment, trucks, light tanks. Well, you know, what I was thinking of doing is converting this over to medium tanks, but I think we're going to keep light tanks around for a while. So yeah, I'll convert this over to Panzer IIs. Was just thinking of going to that, but I think I'll just expand factories into Panzer IIIs and Panzer IVs when we can and keep that going there. How are we doing with armored cars? Armored cars, doesn't sound like a lot. Waters for lunch. Let you build stuff in Allied land, and you can build. You have research. Okay, well, if you've used it, then it is a design. Dang it. Retail hell. Well, see, now we're getting here on the offensive. We're going to close this pocket, and then hopefully we can crush the pocket. There we go. We got a pocket. We've got a pocket. And the Spaniards are going in there. Because the general fighters of the same family convert into each other, so don't worry about rushing. You get the first view. Oh, okay. Didn't know that. You can convert the models up. That's an interesting feature. Well, now let's train an armored division, get another one coming. Having intermittent supply problems. Okay, don't build the 30. A lot of mill. Oh, in production. Get it. BF1. Yes, we are currently going for this model, but that's the one you're saying that doesn't convert. You're saying that this is well, okay. You're confusing. Don't the HE37. You're talking about this one here. Okay. So we won't build that. We'll wait till we get the better one. Trying to read through this quickly here. You can switch from Panzer 2s to 38. Yeah, after Munich. Yes. Hello, Fort Mark Gaming. Oh, you're talking about the DO17 or the HE51. I'm not sure, but yeah, these I built some of these just because I'm having the factory operating. Probably confusing you as the fighters you're producing the ones. Yeah, I understand these don't convert. We're gonna have a bunch of junk trash fighters. I understand that. But sometimes numbers are important. Okay. There we go. We got that. Now we're going to come down to IG Farben and research that. Familiar heart disappears. He was not a good pilot. He was just a famous pilot. The Polo Bridge incident, things are about to get not good in China. Well, we're going to go. Yeah, we're just going to put donuts in charge. Yeah, some silos, yes, to store up more fuel. That yes, do that as well. How you assign air wings to follow armies by the nearest airbase. Have you figured? Yes, the railguns. Yes, I have. I did play a series. didn't go very far just because we're converted over to this. Just basic level, no step back. But yeah, I know how the railguns work. I presume they work similar in this. Yeah, you can assign the air wings to follow your armies. Yeah, well, right now we are full in our fuel, so we're good there at the moment. But like you say, we can build more silos. Right now we're using Panzer 1s, and we're starting to build Panzer 2s. All right, now. There we go. Okay, so we just crushed that. That really did a lot of damage to the Republicans. What do you do here? Instead of we're going to push this way here. Okay, yes. Now, this was the okay. Well, let's okay, July. No, I really do like the Falkville, so we'll do some Falkville research there, and we're going to convert our fighters over to 109s. And send. Now, okay. I don't know what you say. You're pretty sure you can't send volunteers because Finland's usually you'll be at war by then. Well, yeah, the game mechanics and volunteers. Um, Again, I think this is a game limitation and not something that can be modded. But there was a large volunteer movement to send people to Finland during the Winter War. And it was pretty large. And some of it I've only recently learned from Revolverheld's mod or Black Ice, Hearts of Iron 3. But there was a huge volunteer group from Hungary and Italy that were getting ready to go up to Finland. Some of the Hungarians made it to Finland before the end of the war, but they were getting ready to send volunteers. Germany did not, primarily because Finland was in the Soviet sphere of influence, according to the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact. So Germany did send aid to Finland, but did not send any volunteers. And it's more that, historically, than that it was democratic. Because Hungary and Italy weren't considered democratic, and they were sending volunteers, and Finland was like, yay, anybody who wants to show up, cool with us. It's kind of buggy for me. You can't minimize without game messing up and needing some sign out and back into my there is you don't want to alt tab in and out of Hoi 3 is not that. Try to put up a bit more air when you have factories. Now you will find you put 30 40 before France, but you can as high as 50. Okay, we'll definitely add more once we get them. Stop this. Yeah, maybe they'll move out of the way, and then we'll attack. Now I know I play Hoi 4 wrong, and one of the commenters was that I should be using. See, there we go. Should be using planning bonuses and all of that stuff. Well, and they're right. They're not wrong about that. What honestly it comes down to is I don't want to play that game. If the game is just a planning game and then I hit press go button, that game just doesn't interest me. I want to micromanage the game. Thank you, Arno. Find your way through this, and we're going to try to cut to the sea once. We want to cut off these forces. I know they'll have naval supply, but still, creating a pocket is a good thing. IG Farben, very good. Okay, we have Farben, issue more oil contracts, full liquidation. Not sure which one. We're not going to pick those. Continental Army. We'll probably do that, but let's look around. Mutual assistance. 7 days Atlantic, Italy. Liberation. Probably not yet. Yeah, I hear you about that, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's when you only have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Yeah, let's do this. All I have is a panzer division, and Spain is full of mountains. But since I'm attacking right now, I'm smart enough to attack only one division here. And it looks like we're going to defeat that. Oh, and I want to make it very clear, I'm not that smart. So, you know. So I guess I'm not smart enough not to do that. This was still way too far. Future, Black Panzer, Panzer Jaeger. Okay. I'm just trying to find useful text that I could do now without big hindrances for time. We already have that one. Much. Basic medicine. Nope. Well, I don't know that there's a would you like oh, okay, what says they move his troops too much to the most do core, I think. Yeah, I just don't trust. I mean, part of it is I like micromanaging. And but it's also the AI is just, in my opinion, trash. As to building the well, okay, Arno. I've made enough mistakes with World Ablaze, and I need to not make too many of them. So unless I have a unless I have a good player here who recommends it, I'm not just going to do something that is cool but is going to be a bad thing to do. I don't know. The thing I disagree with about this mod is the weapons debuff for all miners. Some have weapons just as good. The Finns had leaps and bounds compared to the Soviets who stole their weapon. Yeah, to a point. To a point. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go right along the rail lines for supply reasons. And the last thing I learned from the last playthrough was I had nowhere near enough regular artillery pieces. So I'm going to spam out as much artillery as I can. They're following up my advances. Okay. Okay, Fort Mark. Well, we'll see about that. I want to make sure I have enough artillery in each division. Okay, well, we made it to there. No, we might not. We may push into there instead. Bring in reinforcements. Battle of China begins. Might as well start researching new fighter now so you get it early. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Emil, that's a good 109. Okay, now that we have reinforcements there, we're going to revitalization of the Vermont. Okay, selection of the OKW, reestablish Jaeger. Okay, well, these are not mutually exclusive, but we'll go down that. Read on it. Come on, get out, get out, get out. Not quick enough, guys. I wanted to get over here and attack there before they got there. Should have retreated sooner. Maybe they'll continue marching on. I want to cut off there. It's just there. Okay, we'll wait till this guy leaves. There we go. Okay, yes, we have those. So let's put these into production. We also have those, but I don't think we're going to put those into production right now. There we go. Now they still have supply. This isn't quite a pocket, but it is cutting them off quickly sending reinforcements. Well, it looks like they're going to be there soon, so let's see what we can do here. It will be trace the push. Okay, we just got the Aragon. Oh, so we did create a pocket all along here. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Anarchist uprising. Just what everyone needs. And no one expects the anarchists to be uprising. Have you played Company of Heroes before? Yeah, I think I have. Been a long time. This worked out great. Keep this pocket closed, guys. Keep the pocket closed. We'll get us some doctrine improvements here. Air doctrines, naval, land doctrines. I think we can really do land doctrines now. Well, no, I guess we could. How much? 45. Yes, we could. Okay. Yeah, let's do tanks. We're doing a bunch of tank operations. There we go. Thank you, Anarchist. You helped us out immensely. See, now here we go. This is going to be great. Here, send 50 fighters to Yugoslavia. Old ones go first. Gains Yugoslavia aircraft purchase, consumer goods factories. So yeah, so there's a use for our old fighters. Oh, was that bombers? Well, either way. Well, what are you running away for? I didn't tell you to run away. Sometimes it does weird things. I don't know. Lack of fuel or supplies? I don't know. Okay, now the other thing we need to look at to some degree is... Okay, experts, what should I do with this division? Should I have heavy anti-air support and build a lot of Flak 88s? Do these use fuel? Yeah, so that would be fuel usage on all my... Now, of course, you could build a special subdivision. That may be the way to do it. But what should we do with... whether now or in the future? Hello, Elf on the Shelf. How you doing? The tank division, yes. Also, don't build the Panzer IIIs. Early Panzer IVs are so much better there. That sort of goes counter from what I was hearing last weekend. They were convert these over to medium instead of support. Because right now, realize the Panzer IV is a support tank and only later converts to a medium as I understand it. Okay. Okay. Don't build the Panzer III's early Panzer. Later on, you should build Panzer because tanks are much more common. Yes. Use Panzer. You use both. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to try to build both. I do know conceptually. I haven't looked at the stats here. That the Panzer IV should be a better infantry killing unit. But okay, so let's see. We have a current width of where is it here? And I've been playing Hoi 3 so much recently, I forgot some of this layout here. Where is width? Oh, yeah, 27. So we can, 30 is the optimum. So we could do 3 more, but these don't, unless something's changed here, these don't add to the width. So maybe AA guns for tank divisions and light AA guns for infantry. Yeah. If you go down the right doctrine, Panther divisions will have very so soft attack and much more breakthrough. Yep, do 30 width. So, but what I was wondering is there something, I don't know, we don't have anti-tank currently here. So should we do anti-tank? It's anti-tank here. Should we do anti-tank as a support, and or I keep clicking the wrong thing. I just need to get out of this. Or an anti-tank here that would add. Let's see, what's the width here? +1, so we have 3 more. So that wouldn't be very much. Okay. You can get equipment for battles. Okay, we do have back. We do have a logistics. We don't have maintenance for infantry yet. We can see about this. We are researching radar. Yes. I had 2 AA and or 2 AT and 1 AT. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. Let's right now add an anti-tank unit. Okay, we have the manpower. We have the tank there, so let's add a second anti-tank. That's going to use up most of our towed anti-tanks, which is fine. But I think we're going to end the episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank the chat for all their great comments. If you have comments, please post them later. Hope I've earned your subscription if you're new. Thanks so much. See you next time for, yes, more Hearts of Iron.